Hello. My name is Jani. Welcome to my channel. This is a cross stitch channel where I talk about cross stitch and projects and fabrics and flosses. And sometimes I make plans. Not always follow them, but that's the fun of making plans and get exciting about a new project. So I really enjoyed that part. And I'm working currently in a Mirabilia. It's called Tree of Hope, and it's a beautiful design by Nora Corbett. Let me show you. So here is my progress. It's a beautiful design. I'm enjoying stitching this design so much. Um, the fabric, it's so crazy and so unusual for this design in particular, but I really loving working on this project. And of course you can really tell the color of the fabric is not quite the color that you are looking at, and it change. It's funny, it's really pretty. And this is an Aida 16, and I am stitching this with one floss of DMC and some water lilies, and for the skin I use a conversion and CXC thread, CXC flosses. So I love to make these little changes. The fabric, well, the fabric, it's a big change, but in the skin, and I thought that the look of the dress, which is really white, the dresses will look really pretty against a darker skin. And of course I love to stitch my Mirabilias with this twist and make an interpretation and conversion of the design. And representation matters, and these are beautiful designs, but you are I think, in my opinion, you are free to do changes, to adapt certain parts of of the design, to personalize your Mirabilia. And I mean Mirabilia, or any other design that you are working on. So yeah, I really love this process. And I have talking about this in a few videos, that at the beginning of this stitchy journey, it was a little hard. It was not easy to make that step, to change things or colors or fabrics, but slowly I have become more confident of the changes that I do with my projects. um, I I feel I feel that freedom of do the things that I imagine with my projects, and at the same time, lost a little the guilt of change such a iconic designs, and it was a little like making being naughty to to change things, but it's not. I mean, if you like, and if you choose to stitch a project as it is in the design, in the chart, of course it's wonderful to see this recreation of an original pattern and or a design, and see how we do with our hands and flosses and fabric. We replicate a design that we love so much, but it's also so interesting and so refreshing to give a change, to take our point of view, or our taste, and see that in our pieces. And as I say in many of my videos, sometimes it's also a matter of economy and things that we have available. So sometimes we can substitute materials or flosses or fabric, because we can use things that we have in hand or we have access to. So that's also another thing that we can do, and it shouldn't be like a limit of what we can stitch. On the contrary, it's a new opportunity. So yeah, that's a little bit of of rambling about stitching and about personalization, but yeah, it's a beautiful way, or set of mind of doing our projects. And I am stitching this in Aida 16, as I mentioned, and with one thread of floss. And I love how the skinny crosses look, and I love that effect. And yeah, it kind of like a melt in the fabric, because sometimes, for example, in designs as full coverage like Heaven on Earth, you have many of the stitchers prefer to cover really well the fabric to avoid the look of the fabric, because it's like the main focus on that kind of pieces. And I'm not a full coverage stitcher, but for the designs that I like to do, I like that look of the skinny cross stitch, or the skinny stitches in my fabric. And Aida, it's a wonderful fabric to work with. It's especially designed or created to stitch cross stitch on it, so it's perfect. And I have many of my miras or samplers on Aida, and it's a beautiful material to work with. And talking about fabric, and talking about local materials that we have access to, I also use a really cheap local cotton fabric, as it's a kind of linen. And I'm really sad because I can't find that fabric anymore, so I will need to keep looking for substitutions for my fabrics, because linens and even Aida, it's expensive. And I like to make my hobby with this aspect of to be sustainable. So yeah, I've been working this week. I start this week on this Mira. I hope to finish this lovely girls and this lovely tree in next days. I don't know when, but we'll see. We'll see. And yeah, and I have received some comments about if I'm not scared to lose some colors, in the fabric, because the fabric is so busy and very similar in color with some of the flosses. And yeah, it's a possibility. But at the same time, it's like my piece of cross stitch, so it's going to be different, it's going to be weird, it's going to be funky. Some colors are going to blend with the fabric, and it's part of the creation that I'm doing. And yeah, I really like it. And I was comment on my last stitch with me, that this tree of hope, it's also the comparison of sometimes hope it's hard to find, and we feel like it's not there. So it's kind of making that allegory between the hope that we so desperately need in these moments, and how sometimes we don't see it, but it's there. So yeah, I really enjoying this project. And talking about the joys of cross stitch, of course, is putting together new projects. So let's see this sampler that I'm really exciting and really scared to work on. So yeah. This is Rachel Howell's 1856 by the Scarlet House, and it's a really lovely design. So bold. I mean, this border, it's so chunky and and out there, and I love it. And these crazy big birds, I so nice. I mean, it has so many things, and I love it. This house, and the colors are so striking. So yeah, I really wanted to start this sampler, and I I got it, at Christmas, something like that. And yeah, and also this is part of the Flosstube. you know, you start watching Flosstube channels, and you see this lovely piece made and stitched, and of course I wanted to stitch it too. And Brenda has this piece, and Carol I think also have this piece, and it's so gorgeous. So yeah, I really really wanted to stitch this, and I decided to use a conversion because it shows you the materials both in needlepoint ink silks and in DMC. So it said that the DMC conversion it's provide as an alternative, but may not provide an exact color match. But it's very much how you like to achieve, this color, or the colors of the samplers, because sometimes if you use, a really light fabric, the colors are going to stand up, better that if you use a darker fabric. So yeah, perhaps you can be using the same color and in a darker, for example here, in a darker fabric, they are going to look different. So yeah, I was really, struggling a little, still am, I am, um, about the fabric to choose, because it's a big project, and I really like, the higher count for this kind of samplers. And I have 40 count piece of fabric that I might use, but I also have this linen. This was a gift by a lovely stitcher, and she sent me this linen 56, yeah, 56, and it's a really, like linen color, really natural, like coffee dyed linen, really really pretty and neutral. So I really want to stitch on this linen, but I find it a little scary because it's so tiny. And I thought about how Jamir from Almond M&M stitch this 56 linen 1/1. And she's, always looking for higher counts and stitching 1/1. And I it's, blow my mind. And I was trying to use this fabric for a different project. Let me show you the project that I was initially going to stitch here, but I decided for a different fabric. Give me one moment. So this is the design. It's by Alt Forest, and it's the black vintage sampler, which I am stitched as a red sampler. And I'm using this polyester thread. It's a sewing thread, and I love the color. And initially I was thinking in using this linen, but no, I couldn't. It was too small. And yeah, I decided, what, perhaps I can use a different fabric. And I even tried with a black thread, but no, it wasn't too much. So I decided to start in this fabric that I dyed. And again, we are going to struggle a little with the fabric. You can see this lovely, like patches, like um, colors all around. And I love it. I love it. This is the local fabric that I used to get here in my city, and now it's sold out. People say that I got all they have, but I'm not sure. And yeah, I'm going to make the black vintage sampler. That's a red sampler in this uh, pretty fabric with sewing polyester thread. And here again I am stitching 1/2. The crosses look again really thin. I love that effect, and yeah, it's a lovely project, and I really want to keep stitching in this, but I have so many beautiful projects. So yeah, that's a good thing, I guess, that you have so many beautiful projects that you don't really have the time to work on all of them. And if you have a full job and family and the adulting stuff, it's not easy. But yeah, this is the black vintage sampler in red by Old Forest. Back with the Scarlet House. um, I really want to try in this fabric to see if I can stitch it. And I decided to get again sewing threads by Gutermann with the similar color of the of of the chart. They are not exact match, but they are very similar. For example, this color, the 739, it's they have this color at the chop, this, but it was really light, and I decided to go a little darker. In this case, it's the one above. I decided to go a little darker, to try to give more contrast in my design. So this is the color that it's called in the design, and I'm going for this one. For example, for the red, it's 321, and this is the one that I choose. It's very similar. Perhaps the 321 it's a little darker, but this is a lovely red. So, and it's one of the main feature of the sampler, so I'm sure it's going to look amazing. Another example is the 823 or 939 that is called in the design. It can be either one, and I choose, it's very similar. In this case, the color is very similar. For the green, it's 3051, and I have a brighter one, but I like it. It's not so subtle. So yeah, my colors start to look different from the design, but I love it. Look at these blues and this teal, so pretty. It's like blue teal. It looks a little different on camera, but it's more green in real life, and I love it. So yeah, I start to make this conversion, and yeah, perhaps I will stitch this project in this linen 56. I'm struggling with the idea, but if not, I can use a linen 40 with these flosses, and I love the colors, and I'm sure will look lovely once it's done. But yeah, this is some of the process of my conversions. The cost of these threads, it's similar to a DMC here in my city, and it's these are 110 yards for a spool, so it's a very good deal, in the price aspect. So yeah, and the colors are really pretty, and I really want to to stitch this sampler in a different fabric. I always try to change and to find different possibilities for my projects. So yeah, that is my report for today. Thank you for being here, for spend these little times or minutes with a Mexican stitcher who really, my goal is to share my love for cross stitch, my journey, my points of view. um, is That is always my intention. I always try encourage, that creativity, that we don't need to stitch, the same projects with the same materials, or you know uh, uh, but you can stitch whatever you want, in the way that you want it. The goal is to enjoy this experience. And yeah, I try to repeat myself. Well, I always repeat myself, but I try to mention that through all my videos, in Spanish and in English, that the invitation is to know cross stitch if it's something new for you, or to keep loving this amazing hobby, and expressing yourself the way that you want it. And they are all valid. Sometimes I talk about some messages that I receive, about people who spend many years without stitching, because they were afraid of not using the right method, or different things, and just now start to stitch and start to find these different materials and possibilities and charts and designs, and they are enjoying the cross stitch. So that's the idea: stitch wherever you want, the way that you want, and feeling the freedom to do it. So yeah. um, I want to remind you that I'm going to have a live chat with Nora Corbett on March 4th. It's Friday, this Friday, on my Instagram account. So hopefully you can join us. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Um, Mexico City Central Time, and I will, keep that video recording in my account, and probably will, you know, put the video also here in my Flosstube. So yeah, hopefully you can join us and talk about cross stitch, and have a good time. So yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and take care of others. These are difficult times, but it's the hope is there. It's only a little hard to find it right now. So I will see you in my next video.